In this video, we're going to teach you the secret to getting endless capital for your business. Have you ever been looking at an app online, scared to fill it out? You meet all the requirements, you finally get enough courage to do it, and then you get denied.
Or you get approved, but with bad interest rates. Most businesses fail because of lack of capital. So stick around because we have 5 steps to help you get approved.
All right, step number 1. Personal credit. Now, to me, this is one of the most underrated when it comes to business funding because most people listen to YouTube, listen to TikTok, and all of a sudden they think they're ready to do business funding only. Then they realize they have to do personal funding. And believe it or not, you got a lot of personal credit cards that have really high limits.
Okay, money magnets, you also want to keep in mind personal credit is really important.
Yeah.
You want to have at least a 720 credit score because now with this economy, banks are most definitely looking at that in order to get business credit.
And then you want to look at your inquiries. You want to have less than 3 inquiries, and you want to have no new accounts in the last 4 months. And if you look at your credit cards, try to have at least $10,000 to $15,000 limits, 3 to 5 years old for the best chances. We've made a ton of videos on high limit personal credit cards, personal loans, and personal lines of credit. And that's something you ought to really look at when it comes to funding your business when you're getting started.
Okay, Marvin, what you're really talking about, it all goes back to the body of the credit.
Yeah.
What that looks like. And when I say the body of the credit, how many revolving accounts do you have?
Right.
How many installment accounts you have? When we talk about installment loans,
Right.
we're referring to personal loans. Line of credits even fall under installment loans, as well as car notes. So you want to make sure that you have sufficient credit. When we're talking about just a 700 score, Marvin, is not going to cut it anymore because you could just have a credit builder account on your credit with the $500 limit, and that's just not going to cut it anymore.
Yeah, like Rent Reporters, Ava, Credit Strong, all of that stuff will help build your credit. But don't think you can get a 700 credit score with credit builders and then go to Chase and ask for $50,000. It's just not going to happen. Now you can go to Chase and ask for a personal credit card like the Chase Freedom, or if you're beginning credit, you can try to Chase Rise. But to just obviously think, hey, I can get $50,000, don't fool yourself. It's not going to happen. And a lot of businesses can start with personal funding.
Now, let's look at step number 2, business credit. Now, a lot of times when we talk about business credit, money magnets, we get confused between business credit and business funding.
Right.
And there is a big difference.
Yeah, when you're looking at business credit, we're talking about net 30 accounts. Like if you guys write this down, if you're ready to get a business credit score in the next 90 days. All right, you got Uline, you got Quill, you got Nav, and you got a company called Granger. If you use those 4 accounts in the next 30 to 60 days, you will get a score, and you can go track your score either on Nav or Smart Business Reports.
And even though we talk about business funding, we'll get to that next.
Right.
But you want to make sure that you are building business credit. Yes, do you want business funding for your business? Of course. But to get to the next level, you need to start off with business credit.
And you know, when I started my construction business, I started out with net 30 accounts. I was a stucco guy when I first started out, and I used those trade accounts to get my business going. Like you can use Home Depot, you can use Lowe's, and then any type of vendor that you do business with, ask them, do they have a net 30? This is how you end up building business credit.
And not only do they have net 30s, they have net 7s, net 14. Because with our restaurant, our food vendor, Cisco, they gave us a net 7.
Right.
So guess what? I get to buy the groceries, make the money, and then pay them 7 days later. That right there can most definitely be a cash flow changer for your business.
And one of our favorites is Amazon. Now, I know 90% of you looking at this video look at Amazon. And do me a favor, make sure you guys like and share this video. And also, if you want to make any comments about business credit, personal funding, or any of these steps, drop those comments below.
We're getting to the money. Okay, business funding. Now, with business funding, you can easily get credit cards with a startup business.
Right.
As long as you have good personal credit. And the reason why we say that is because money magnets. banks are going to want to look at your personal credit because they feel like if you pay your personal bills on
Right.
time, you're going to pay your business bills on time. And they don't want to lend to someone who has a 500 credit score.
And look, we got business relationship managers at Chase, US Bank, Amex, and PNC. And guys, we talk to them every day and we're telling you what they tell us. Nobody's going to get an Amex, a Visa, or a MasterCard without using their personal credit. So keep that in mind. You're going to have to use your personal credit. Here are things to watch out for. Make sure on your check systems or your early warning, you got less than 3 inquiries in the last 6 months. Make sure on your personal credit, you got less than 3 inquiries on each bureau. And also that you have above a 720 credit score to get the maximum amount of funding, whether it's a credit card, a line of credit, or a loan. And Gloria, let's tell them the difference and what the banks look for when they're talking about credit cards and loans.
Okay, so when we're talking about credit cards, you don't have to have documentation. But when you're starting to look for money, like loans, or if you're looking for a line of credit, they most definitely are going to ask for your last 2 years of tax returns,
Right.
as well as they may ask for your bank statement. So these are some of the things that you want to have on hand. The wonderful thing about business credit money magnets, keep in mind, it does not show up on your personal credit,
Right.
but they do take a peek. Again, I'm going to say this, they're going to take a peek at that personal credit to make sure that you are credit worthy.
Right. And you got to make sure, guys, you're building a relationship. So the days of setting up a checking account, asking for $50,000 tomorrow, they're almost gone. You want to set up a checking account, let it sit for 90 days. But while it's sitting, make sure you do some deposits, make sure you get your debit card and you do some withdrawals, and also get to know your banker. Think about it. When you go in the bank every week, you want to get to know everybody there. Ask them, can you talk to merchant services? Can you talk about a treasury management account? You don't realize it, but all of this is helping your bank rating score in the background. And then as you're moving along, make sure your credit is the best that it can be when you do get ready to apply for that credit card. And like Gloria said, stay under 50,000 if you want to do no docs. Now, when you go over 50,000, be prepared to show those documents.
Now, step number 4, fintech loans. Now, if you have challenging credit, this right here could most definitely help you, but you need to have high cash flow going through your account.
All right, with fintech loans, you got companies like On Deck, Cap on Tap, even Rock Financial. Now, with these type of loans, you can actually have bad credit, but if you got high income and bank statements, you don't even need taxes to actually get funded.
And you also have MCAs, which is merchant cash advance. Now, those are going to be a little bit of a high interest rate,
Right.
but they are available if you're in a crunch and you need to get to some funding.
Now, I would only suggest those if you have a construction business where you got super high income coming in, because we've seen a lot of people get stuck in those where they're taking money out of your account daily, and that could actually end your business or either put you in a very bad position. So you want to make sure if you're going into these loans that you can see your way out of it, because a merchant cash advance could really hurt sometimes.
And Marvin, let's not forget, you also can get a real estate loan. So if you already own property,
Right.
you can borrow against that property as long as the value is there.
Right. And if you're looking to flip properties, as long as you got experience, like you've done 3 houses in the last 2 years, a lot of hard money lenders will give you money towards the house. You know, I get so many people that call us every day and they want to pay cash for the house. Why not put 20% down, use a hard money lender, and then flip that house without tying up so much capital? Because you got to think about it. Most real estate deals require more capital than you think in the beginning. And then you can use some net 30s in business credit, like we talked about before, to help finance your project.
Okay, and Marvin, let's not forget to tell them, if you're looking to get a free business strategy call and you need help raising capital, look in the description below because we can most definitely help you with that.
All right, let's go to step number 5, advanced techniques. Now, guys, look, if I had a project that I had to finish or I'm starting a business and I'm really excited about it, I would use all of the above. You know, if I got good credit, I would use my personal credit with a personal term loan, a personal credit card, or a personal line of credit to get my business off the ground. Also, if I can set up business credit, I would use that as well as far as using net 30s.
That's one thing you don't want to sleep on. And Money Magnus, a lot of times we hear clients state, I don't want to use my personal credit. Sometimes you have to get started with your personal credit in order to go over to the business side.
Right, and even when it comes to the net 30s, look, companies like Floor & Decor will give you a net 30. That may help you finish the project that you're working on by getting all the tile or getting all the wood that you needed to finish that. And then when you jump over to business funding, all right, banks like Chase, American Express, PNC, US Bank,
Yes.
they all have credit cards that are 0% for 12 months. Now, that's one of the best advanced techniques to take advantage of, because if you plan it out right, you can actually have 0% for the next 2 to 5 years if you strategically sit down and raise capital every 4 months.
And it only takes a 700 plus credit score for this, as well as there's no documentation needed. So that right there, Marvin, that's a cash flow changer, because guess what? You can make money and have 0% interest for 12 months.
And then if you're already in business, but you've been having trouble with your credit, next you want to definitely look at our luxury credit hacks. Check out that link in the description below. But use your bank statements to get you some capital to hold you over for those months that you may be waiting on money. Because I used to have government contracts myself when I was in construction, and sometimes you got to pay all your people,
Yes.
you got to pay all the material and all the overhead, and you're waiting 30 to 60 days to get your money. It may not be bad to take an MCA if you have guaranteed money coming. I wouldn't do it any other way.
And also, Money Magnets, don't let bad credit stop you from achieving your goals. Another advanced technique is the SBA.
Yeah.
They have a $25,000 express loan where you don't have to wait a long period of time to get the funds. But you want to make sure that you have all your docs
Right.
in order to secure the money. 700 credit score, your tax returns, and even maybe your bank statements.
And if you're a business owner and you actually own the building that you work out of, you may be able to tap in that equity or get a commercial line of credit against your building to inject money into your business. So it's so many strategies you can use depending on what you have. Like Gloria said earlier, remember, most businesses fail because of a lack of capital. Don't be afraid to go in debt to actually grow your business. You may need more money for marketing, more money for employees, and maybe even equipment. And guys, make sure you have a great credit score. And if you don't, check in the description below. We have an AI program called Luxury Credit Hacks that can help you with that. And remember, guys, with your personal credit, we've seen a lot of people get denied because of this. Make sure you don't have any fraud alerts and freezes before you apply. Make sure that you have your employer correct. Your current employer, your business needs to be at the top. And don't forget, remove any old previous addresses. We've seen a lot of people get denied for these super small reasons.
Okay, hold up, because I have a gem.
What you got, Glove?
Okay, Money Magnets, if you have over a 700 credit score and you just need a Shelf Corp to help you raise more capital, check out this next video.
I'm Mr. Smith.
And I'm Mrs. Smith.
And we're here to help empower your finances.